Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As you guys know, I'm Matty Betts. Oh, thank you for joining me here again. We got more NHL. Oh man, exciting, thriller and ending to the last series that we just watched. It was amazing. It was beautiful. Kind of what I was hoping for here. We got Panthers, we got Oilers. We have a rematch of last year's finals. It's exciting. It's epic. I've been asking for this probably for the past like 2.5 weeks. If you guys have been watching like the shorts and the locks of the day that I've been putting out during pretty much the whole entire playoffs. I had some videos out there too. We kind of stopped on the videos and just did the shorts, but there's lock of the days. They just seem to go a little bit better. You guys care more about that. The parlays weren't really hitting either, so we were kind of just like, let's just put a pause on the videos. We don't need to break down the whole entire game when we can do that in about a minute. So, with that being said, though, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the Stanley Cup, the final. Actually, I guess it's not really the playoffs anymore. Still is, but you guys know what I mean. It's the championship round now. Panthers, Oilers. Like I said, I wanted this for a while. I think that last year it was electric. We had obviously a Game 7 series. Panthers went on to win it. This year we get a rematch, right? Like you can't be mad about that. It'd be like in the NFL, you have Chiefs Niners that go again, or Chiefs Eagles like we had last year, and maybe with that again. Like it's not something that you can really predict at the start of the year, but you really hope it happens. And then once you get closer and you see the stars trying to align, and you see like certain trends, and you see how games are going, how series are going, and you're like, this could actually happen again. So we asked for that, not the last series, but the series before that. And Panthers and Oilers both went on, and I said, hey, here we go, like. Oilers, Panthers, don't let me down. They didn't. Here we go. Let's jump into it. Let's just talk about, we'll talk about the futures bet and who the favorite is and stuff like that. As you guys can see on the screen, it's pretty plain as day right now. Oilers are the favorite here. They do have the home ice advantage. Last year, it was a Game 7 series. Panthers added a little bit more talent than, in my opinion, in the offseason than the Oilers did. Panthers, added a star. Oilers don't really have to, and as of right now, in my opinion, the Oilers are looking like a better team, so I do like the line here at minus 125, Panthers at plus 105. It makes sense, right? But when you look at the games that both these teams have played in the playoffs, Oilers definitely have a better record. Obviously, there's been 3 series they've won obviously to get here, so that's 12 wins right there. Panthers have 1 more loss. Oilers have 1 less loss. Okay, the Oilers I think they're 12-4. I think got the Panthers at 12-5. So, but with all that being said, it means none of these games went to a 7-game series. So it wasn't really that difficult for them to beat the other opponents that they played against. So pretty smooth sailing just to get back here, because they're like, hey, if we go all the way, we don't care who we're playing against, but we're hoping it's the Panthers. And the Panthers like, we're hoping it's the Oilers again because we beat them last year. So, and if you're the Panthers in this situation too, you're like, okay, so we're the underdog now, but we want to play against the Oilers. We got to play against the Oilers again. So, like, what's a better way to win your second year in a row and win another Stanley Cup than to beat the Oilers when they're having a better year and they look better in the playoffs, but beat them in 6 games, beat them in 5 games, maybe even sweep them. Like, that's something that the Panthers can really step up to, and then nobody's going to doubt them and be like, oh, you got lucky in that Game 7. Nobody's going to be saying that at all. They're going to say the Panthers have the Oilers number. Oilers better hope the Panthers don't make it next year if they want to go and try to win a Stanley Cup. So, yeah, I mean, and then if you're the Oilers, obviously, this is all just payback. It's all revenge. Like, you got to a Game 7, it was close, but, you got home ice advantage, I should say, this time around. So, yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be electric. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I'm just going to literally have the TV on tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, 5:30, or, 5:10, and we're just going to let that thing go. I'm not even going to get up to, like, get popcorn or anything like that, any snacks, no beverages or anything like that. We're just watching it start to finish. It's going to be electric. So, let's jump into the actual game itself. Game 1, that's all we're going to talk about tonight. Like, my pick to win it all would be the Oilers. I don't know if I've said that, but if you guys have watched my shorts, you guys know that I'm really high on the Oilers right now, and they just look better in my opinion. So my pick would be taking the minus money. I don't really like doing that, but I don't have enough faith in the Panthers to be able to beat the Oilers. The Oilers, I've just, I've taken them to pretty much destroy every team that they've played against in the playoffs, and they've done that. And we're kind of going to do the same here. Now, if we can go back over here to the futures, something I did want to talk about is like the series results. You get pretty good odds, obviously, if you're going to take the Oilers to sweep. I don't think that's going to happen. I guess we could see it. Anything's possible, but I just don't see that happening. I think a more realistic would be 6 games, because the Oilers, they want that revenge, so give them an extra game there. So we'd see it in 6 games as opposed to it going to a 7-game series. But both of those are still the same odds at plus 425, which I think is still really good odds for a game that everybody, or for a series that everybody says is probably going to go 7 games. I don't really see that happening. But you could take the Oilers at four. They could win it in 5 games. 4-1. You're getting plus 550. That's a little bit juicier, but I mean, if you wanted to play it smart and you do think that the Oilers are going to win this, you would literally just put a unit on each of those. So you'd throw 3 units down to win, a plus 125. That's still not a bad bet. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could go 4-0 too, and just hope that 4-1 hits. But that'd be 4 units to barely win anything. Like if you're playing with a big enough bag and you're just going to try to go percentage, you could definitely do that, and I would suggest it because I do like the Edmonton to win. So if that's most likely something that I will end up doing. But if you guys don't want to do that, I understand. I'm here to give you guys not a plus 25. Like we're trying to go a little bit higher than that. So with that being said, first game. Like I said, Oilers have home ice advantage in this. So this first game, we haven't seen either of these teams have a game one at home. Every game that they have had, every game one's been on, in somebody else's house, but all of these teams have done really good about. Panthers, they went to Tampa in the first round of the playoffs and blew them out. So, and then the Oilers, they've done their thing in game ones. I think they lost 1 game 1 or 2 game 1s, something like that. But their game ones haven't been the best, but it also hasn't been at home. So I'm going to take the home team in this one. I'm going to take the Oilers, and we're going to take them at -1.5. It's a lot against the reigning champs, and I understand that. But I like the Oilers. They have a point to prove. It's your first game at home, all playoffs. They've played great at home, just like the Panthers have. And the Panthers have also played really good on away too, just like the Oilers have. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like the home ice, does it really matter at this point? I think it does when you're talking about these caliber of teams where I don't know, it's going to be tough though because the Oilers are really good on the road. But it doesn't matter. We're taking the Oilers -1.5. It's a plus 185 play. I love that pick right there. I see the Oilers winning this game probably by 2 or 3. They're just going to come out a lot hotter and a lot stronger, I think, than the Panthers. And they're, like I said, they have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be beating them up. So watch out, Panthers, because there might be there might be a little bit of slaughtering tomorrow night. But that's the pick for that. And also, I also talked about we're not going to get into every single game or anything like that. We do have a parlay for you guys. We started doing those first series or second series of the playoffs, second round of the playoffs. They weren't super profitable. I think we only hit on one. And it was like a plus 500 or a plus 600. And we were making one for pretty much every day, so every slate of games. And we were able to do 3, and then we had to switch it to 2. And one of the 2 we were able to hit. We were doing goal scorers, and then we tried that once, and we were like, yeah, we're not doing goal scorers. They're too hard to predict. So we switched to shots on goal. Shots on goal is a lot easier to hit. It's a lot more fun. You can take more players. You can take more shots or less shots on goal, especially now that we're going to be doing a same-game parlay. So that's the only caveat there. We're not doing one pick from each game anymore. We're doing a same-game parlay. I love this same-game parlay. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think down below. But let's do what we normally do. There we go. All right. Player shots on goal. First off, we got Evander Kane. Evander Kane, he's been very consistent, and he's been very aggressive. He's also been very profitable for me when I've thrown him into shots on goal parlays. He's hit more often than he hasn't, so we're going to stick with that with him, 2 shots on goal. Next, we're on Connor McDavid, obviously the best player in hockey as of right now. It can be argued, but not really. Connor McDavid, especially in the playoffs, he's been the best, so 2 shots on goal for him. And then Brad Marchand, he had 5 in the last game, which was their game winner to send them to the finals. He had 5 in that game, so we're going to take him in a game 1 where they really want to get after the Oilers in this game and actually take the game. I think Marchand steps up here at 3+. Parlay pays out plus 475. And since it's the same game parlay over here on BetMGM, you don't get lines and you don't get odds on your same game parlay picks. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we can go over here real quick and I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So you can go to right here because you're doing same game parlay. Go to player shots on goal. It doesn't tell you. So you don't get odds until you throw them together, and then it will give you the odds. So that is one thing that I don't like about it. But if you guys want to, if you guys want to make your own, you want to take somebody for, like Draisaitl, you want to take him for 4 or something like that, and you want to throw those together and just see what you could do with the payouts. If we actually just decided to take Draisaitl and throw him in there for 4, it bumps this thing up to a plus 1,000. So it is kind of just dependent on what you want to do. This is what I'm going with. I'm not opposed to you making your own, throwing a couple units on that, or making 3 or 4 of them. I love making parlays. I'll most likely end up making 4 or 5 for this game. But this is the one that I feel the best about. And with that being said, that's all we got for you guys. Comment down below. Let me know who you guys have winning this whole entire series. Also, like, do the Panthers repeat or do the Oilers, upset them? No, it wouldn't be an upset, but, get their revenge and hoist the Stanley Cup. But we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.